Welcome to the rest of my life. I'm Lance Ash. And here we go. Gonna go buy a $2 billion lottery ticket on the way into work. Oh my goodness. Well, had a very, very good weekend. Very good. Finished a painting. Strained my neck doing some yard work. I had reached an impasse in the writing of my novel. I was going to go on hiatus, but then I thought, tell you what, let's just stop writing the book while you're at work and write it on the weekends. And it worked out really, really well. Everything seems it's just one of those rare occasions where when everything's lined up, you know, your ducks are in a row, everything's good. In life, you have to learn that that situation comes and goes. You just have to be ready for when it goes bad and ready for when it goes good again. With the time change, I got an extra hour of sleep, which is good. Alright, just give me a second. We'll go through the CDs. Alright, let's see what we got here. Alright. Hold on. The bag is all out of sorts. Alright, number one. We have 2 LPs transferred to 1 CD. This is what's that say? The J. Geils Band first album and J. Geils Band Sanctuary. Next, J. Geils Band Ladies Invited and J. Geils Band Full House. Those are 2. I think they're both live albums. Full House is a live album. Maybe Ladies Invited is not. Next, also 2 LPs transferred to 1 CD. J. Geils Band Monkey Island and J. Geils Band Best Of. Then we have, hold on, across the street. Next we have, this is Living Colour's EP Biscuits. I only brought this because I want to hear their version of James Brown's song, Talking Loud and Saying Nothing. Then The Cure, Wish. And then Andy Summers, The Golden Wire. Hold on, I'm trying to drive with one hand. Then Bloomfield, Old Nobody. Then The Cure, Wild Mood Swings. And then Rammstein's self-titled album. And I think that's it. That's it. Okay. Now, I don't have any topics planned, but that's okay. Because I've been rehearsing for the next program that I'm going to be doing, which will be totally free form. That's in 29 weeks. I have to use up all these little pieces of art. Because I want the artwork for the next program to be different. Totally distinctive from this one. I don't know what that will be. Probably photographs. Yeah, probably. I got a backlog of photographs on my SD cards from my phone. I mean, what am I saying? Phone. Camera. Jesus. I rarely use my phone to take pictures. I only do that if there's a situation where I have to take a picture of something and I don't have my camera with me. That's a rarity. But the confluence of those 2 devices is becoming so common that you get to where you say one instead of the other. This old house I'm passing has been there forever. So weird, people still live there. Still in working order. That house is probably 70 years old. Isn't that weird? My daughter's car was messed up, so I had to pick her up from work the other night and drive her to her apartment. And we went down this little side streets to get to her apartment. And these houses are 100 years old, easily 100 years old. And the streets they're on are really narrow. They're not really made for cars, especially not cars going in opposite directions at the same time. Because people park on the street. And there's just something so inviting and charming about these old houses. Even the McMansions today don't have the same appeal. These old houses are made with big porches, big steps that go up to this big porch, deep porch where you can sit, wave at people as they go by. This is back when mailmen used to walk the route, and you'd say hey to the mailman. Oh, there's a reason that on the box of Lipton tea there's a guy with a hat sipping tea. That's the mailman. He's accepting the offer of a cup of tea as he steps up onto your porch to hand you your letters. Looks like you got a letter from your son in Cuba. Yes, we're defending the honor of the Maine. Oh. Robert Benchley's older brother was killed in the Spanish-American War. And contributed to his lifelong pacifism. Let's see here. I wanted to listen to the Firesign Theater on YouTube this weekend, but I was going through all the offerings, and I pretty much heard all of it. And I'm afraid to listen to some of the albums they did later. I guess I shouldn't be so afraid. I guess I should give them a shot. But you don't want to let yourself down. You know, a group has a high point and then they drag it out too long. Kind of like Ghost. What is Ghost doing? Tobias, give it up. Well, let's see what else we can talk about. Like I said, I did some yard work this weekend, and it struck me. You know, my grandfather, my father's father, used to own property on both sides of the road that I live on, and slowly parceled it off over the years to relatives mainly. So at one point, my grandmother used to babysit me a lot. Used to spend a lot of time over at their house. And it struck me yesterday that I used to know that property intimately. Used to know where a certain rock is, a certain flower, a certain tree, a certain piece of machinery, anything. You know, you've been around the property so much, you played there and you ran around the property so much, you know everything. My grandparents had the house, but then they had all these outbuildings. And so it contributed to the idea that it was like a little village or a little compound. And when you'd be with your cousins, you'd be playing like Cowboys and Indians or something, and there's all these nooks and crannies and corners you could hide around, and it was just, and that's, I kind of feel like I'm trying to replicate that in some form or the other on my property now. I wish I had the time to do all that. It's all gone. Gone with the wind. That's what that book title is about. The whole way of life. A world gone. And you can say, oh, well, it was an evil world. Well, yeah, I guess so, but it's still something that somebody knew intimately, and now it's gone. Oh my God, I hate rednecks. I hate them. Pizza Factory. I wonder if that's any good. I mean, I used to know this side of town intimately. Well, very familiarly. And it's changed so much. That's the conservative in me. You don't want things to change. Everybody's conservative to a certain extent. You don't want things to change, or you want things to go back the way they were. And it can't be that way. I got, when I went to UGA library last, one of the books I got was a collection of cartoons by Edward Sorrell, published in 1978. And it's interesting going through these. Most of them are, you'd say political, but really they're more commentary on issues of the day. It's interesting how a lot of the issues are still around, like the fact that big corporations get off without paying any tax, and the abortion issue is still with us, death penalty issue is still with us, support for Israel is still with us. Just looking at the cartoons alone sends me into a nostalgic trip. I remember when Carter was president, and every day it was day 209 of the hostage crisis in Tehran. What is Carter going to do about it? And he's doing nothing. I don't really remember Ford. I remember election night between Ford and Carter. And here's something, a little interesting tidbit for you. I remember how the news portrayed the votes coming in. They had the Republicans, it's probably NBC, they had the Republicans in blue and the Democrats in red. I don't know where this color scheme came from, where it's definitely red and definitely blue now. I don't know where that came from. I don't remember Nixon at all. I remember when Reagan came into office, I was so delighted, because it not only did that coincide with change over to a new decade, but it also changed over to a whole new design look. You know, the skinny ties came in, short hair came in. All right, I gotta go in here and get a lottery ticket. Gotta find a place to park. Oh God. Okay, hold on a second. We gotta get everything just right. Okay, hold on. What the hell am I doing here? Lights, park, power, money, seatbelt. Christ. Okay, hold on. And lock the car. There we go. Okay, we're crossing the parking lot. It's unusually warm today. Oh, God. Okay, here we go. Hey.
When it goes to 2. Okay.
You need to get a quick pick on the Powerball.
Just one?
Yep, just one.
Alright, $2. So I should get 30 on 7.
There you go. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Okay.
You guys all do that.
Okay, hold on. Hold your horses. Here we go. Out the door. I never look at the numbers. I don't want to know. I found a penny. Scuffed on one side. Alright, hold on. My fucking keys. Okay. Alright. Back in the car. Turn the car on, put it in gear so that it automatically locks the doors. Put the... Hold on. Stop it! Put the ticket into the CD case for safekeeping. Put the money back up in the little bag. Close that. Seatbelt lights. Reverse and get the hell out of here. 2 billion. Jesus. After taxes, that's $1 billion. Instantly a billionaire. Of course, if you take the lump sum, I don't know how much you'd get. Probably, what, 300 million? It wouldn't be very much. Come on, folks. I can't wait till all the gasoline runs out and everybody's forced to run on battery power. All these guys who think they're so hot with their retro muscle cars, gigantic trucks. It doesn't make any noise. They'll add devices to their cars so they'll make noise. I guarantee you. Looked at some depressing pictures on, I think it was BBC today. Maybe, I don't know what it was, but it was pictures indicating the rapidly increasing decline of the planet's viability. Pretty depressing. Lakes drying up, pile of giraffes dead, and they keep sending out hunters on safari, murder all the elephants while we still can. What? There you go. That's conservatives for you. My ancestors have been murdering elephants for 200 years. Come on, folks. Change the light. These people, these weirdos walking around with backpacks up and down the road. I just don't... What's going on? Why is the light not... Oh, there it goes. So many strange people in the world. It's just odd. Alright, finally on the road. Making pretty good time for having that stop. You know, as soon as you buy the ticket, right, you can't help but start fantasizing about what you're going to do with it. All the vengeance you're going to exact. Go find people. Find people you haven't seen in 30 years and pay them back. One way or another. About to set the cruise control. Trying think what else I did this weekend. It was fun picking up my daughter, taking her to her place. She's got a cat now. Oh my goodness. Very proud of her for being an independent young lady. Something happened, and oh, I know what it was. My wife has a blog, and I was going through it, and in there she mentions this incident that happened where we tried this falafel place in Athens, and it was not good. And the owner, that's right, I remember now. It was at the old Pizza Hut. There's a abandoned Pizza Hut on Baxter Street, and it still has that distinctive Pizza Hut shape with the roof that they had. And we went in there to try it, and it was not good. And as we were leaving, the owner was back in the kitchen, and he shouted out, "How was it?" And I yelled at him, "Boring!" And he chased us out in the parking lot and demanded to know what was wrong with the food. And I said it had no flavor. Anyway, she had a little story telling this on the blog. And I was like, well, when was that? So I found that it happened in 2010. And I went looking through all my diaries, and I found the entry talking about it. And that was 12 years ago. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. And so I went on my old blog to look at what cartoons I was doing at the time. And I can't believe how shitty my cartoons were back then. And I was so proud of them. What good work I'm doing. Oh, God. When I was looking at that book by Edward Sorrell, and I looked up pictures of his studio, of his drawing space, and I love looking at artists and cartoonists' studios, how they've organized everything. When I used to go to my old studio in the place in the backyard, I remember several times when I'd be over there, and I would just stop and look around and go, oh, this is wonderful to have my own place. And I've slowly built it up and changed it and modified it and made it into my space over the years. This is, like a little sanctuary. And when the place got to be just so horrible, just mold and wet and mice, and it was just horrible. Plus, there was nowhere to go to the bathroom. If I had to go to the bathroom, I had to go across the yard in the middle of the dark and go back to the house. So I decided when my daughter moved out to take over the room next to her old bedroom. And I knew that slowly over time it would become what I wanted, and it has. And last night I was looking around and I was like, this is a tiny little room, but it's become what I wanted. And it'll get more and more so as time goes on. I wish I could rip the carpet up, but it's probably not a good idea. Anyway, well, we're coming to the end of the show. I'm not going to apologize for having no topics this time, because this is the way it's going to be. Free-form rambling. If a topic is good enough to suggest itself to me, then so be it. But otherwise, no, I'm not going to care. All right, I will see you later. Bye-bye.